Report.
The ruling National Resistance Movement has intensified efforts to consolidate support for its flag bearers in Tororo district. Led by the chairperson of the NRM Electoral Commission, Dr. Tango Doi, the party has embarked on a series of reconciliation meetings aimed at persuading candidates contesting as independents to withdraw from the race and rally behind the endorsed NRM flag bearers, leaving them to compete against opposition candidates. The campaign, which has begun in Kisoko and Peta sub-counties, has already registered significant progress. Of the more than 100 candidates who attended the meetings, nearly half agreed to step down, leaving 38 NRM flag bearers unopposed within the party.
If we can build consensus, which is our major role now in mobilization, by 28th, we shall have less friction.
Despite the breakthrough, the meeting has also exposed deep-seated grievances over parties' internal electoral processes. Several candidates claim that despite winning party primaries and in some cases being declared unopposed and issued with party flags, they were shocked to discover that on nomination day, their flags had been reassigned to other individuals without any explanation. Many subsequently opted to contest as independents.
The chairperson refused to stamp my form, and he told me that my flag was given to someone.
It's like we are forcing ourselves to be in the movement, and yet other leaders are chasing us away.
Reliable party sources indicate that many of those affected were allegedly dropped because they supported independent candidates during the recently concluded parliamentary elections. However, the aggrieved members agree that such punishment is unfair, insisting that party flag bearers are chosen by voters, not individual party officials.
Other people, they decided to follow independent candidate, but it doesn't mean they left party aside. But they are going with the rightful leaders.
Responding to the complaints, Dr. Tango Doi condemned the alleged manipulation of party decisions, saying that the will of party members must always be respected. He revealed that some of the affected candidates had already had their flags restored, while others chose to remain independent after completing nomination.
In those villages, the 4 villages have reprimanded the registrars. I've also called the district registrar to rein in on the parish registrars and the sub-county registrars where such happened.
The reconciliation exercise will now be rolled out across the 7 constituencies in Tororo district, covering 1,337 villages, as the NRM seeks to reunite its ranks and maximize the chances of securing victory in the upcoming LC1 elections.
Governance experts have warned that Uganda's increasingly cautious political environment could have far-reaching implications for democratic governance. They attribute the trend to continued arrests of opposition leaders, legal challenges facing political actors, and growing self-censorship, saying these developments are discouraging open political participation and narrowing the country's democratic space.
The political temperature appears to be changing, where opposition politics, civil activism, and robust public debate once dominated the political space. Analysts now say many Ugandans are becoming increasingly cautious about expressing political opinions. Governance expert Timothy Chimonges says the trend is closely linked to the continued arrest of opposition politicians, legal proceedings against political actors, and restrictions affecting some civil society organizations. According to Chimonges, what is emerging is a culture of self-preservation where citizens increasingly choose silence over speaking out.
Against the rule of law, vocal on matters, respect of the questions of democracy. And so there's very clear direction in terms of the narrative of what people should say, how people should think, and the dynamics of how even the fourth estate.
He warns that when alternative voices retreat from the public sphere, democracy itself is weakened.
Alternative views, alternative thinking will greatly be undermined. And I think that we are in a place where critique, where alternative thinking is largely viewed as, opposed or being anti-establishment.
Policy analyst Godbert Mushabe believes the country is experiencing growing public frustration, even if it is not always visible. He urges that beneath the apparent calm lies widespread anxiety over governance, accountability, and political freedoms.
It's a disquiet that is very, very discomforting and that can be problematic if you have a country of 40 million people and that is the That's the way it is projecting itself. There is a disquiet that is completely and concerning, and because when you talk to many people across the country, the ones I interact with, you really see there is a sense of despair, there is a sense of anger.
Tumushabe says Uganda has made progress in infrastructure, economic planning, citing long-term development strategies, but argues that sustainable development also depends on freedom and strong institutions.
In most cases, you lack scale. In other cases, you lack the spatial distribution, so you find some concentration in Kampala. And so there is that software. And the ultimate software of any economy is freedom. So a population that is free, that feels a sense of freedom, is more confident.
Political analyst Professor Rogers Barigayomwe says political participation should never be confined to a select few, warning that suppressing dissent may only postpone deeper national grievances. He says societies where citizens fear expressing alternative opinions risk storing up tensions that may emerge in more difficult ways later.
As a consultant in conflict studies, such a situation is even more worrying than the previous one, because then people are going to keep quiet with their grievances, and then at one time this thing might erupt into a more dangerous kind of conflict.
The experts agree that while caution may offer temporary political stability, a healthy democracy requires open debate, competing ideas and institutions that allow citizens to participate without fear.
Uganda will be going to the polls very soon for the LC1 or Local Council 1 elections, and there's a lot of excitement. If you have noticed, there's a lot of campaigning going around, but also what has caught the eye of the many is that, look, the elite who never used to occupy these offices are now excited to join in on the rest. Now, to throw more light on that, joining us is Honorable Jara Mapenduzi, the Member of Parliament for Bardege Laibi constituency, and also former Chairman Gulu. Many thanks for joining us this evening. I'm sure there is excitement in Gulu and everywhere that you've passed. What would you say is the excitement? These are offices that are not even paid in terms of salary.
Well, there is excitement everywhere, and this excitement symbolizes growing interest in the affairs of, everyone seems to be getting more interested in understanding and also getting involved in the affairs that concerns them. And so, and you need to know that every citizen in this country at least belongs to a village, and there are about 71,214 villages. And so you and I who belong to villages would definitely be interested in seeing the kind of leaders we elect to lead our villages, the quality they present. But most importantly, you need to understand what role a chairman of a village or a cell in an urban setting plays. They do a lot in terms of, they provide leadership in mobilizing the community. They also have to monitor implementation of government programs in their respective villages. They have to support self-help projects. And there are a lot of things that they do. And so Ugandans are becoming more interested in understanding, but also ensuring accountability. And so unlike in the past when people, would not bother, now people are more interested. And so that is a good indicator, because all of us have to be involved, but also all of us have to make sure we get leaders who can represent us, who can lead us, but also who can be held accountable. The LC1s play very important roles.
Yeah, I hear you, Honorable. When you flip it, the other side of the coin, the critics are saying that this is also an NRM problem. That you have so many people who are unemployed, so whatever space that is available for them to contest and even get, or even fight for the fee that comes with that LC1 stamp, is that they will do their best, they will do anything possible to make sure they occupy that position. So maybe that could partly or partially explain the excitement.
Well, it's not necessarily about being unemployed, because look, when you look at the caliber of people coming now, some of them are people who are in well-established businesses. Some of them are people, you can imagine someone who stood for parliament is saying, I need to come back to my village. And because if you cannot start from your village, then what kind of... So to me, it's not just about unemployment. I think Ugandans are beginning to appreciate that